Well, hello, amazing students, and welcome to week 3. This is Dr. J. Excited that you're here as we're progressing through the course, progressing through the program, of course. So one of the things I would like to point out is I know a number of students here are brand new to the program. Some of you are in your first course or two. Welcome. Things move very quickly in these classes, so make sure that you're on top of your submissions on a regular basis. Be working on things. Best to do little bits and pieces every day as opposed to wait until Sunday to get started on your submissions. And so be mindful of that. That'll help to move things along for you a lot smoother, but things move very quickly. If you don't keep up on your submissions, sometimes it can snowball on you. It's difficult to catch up. So make sure you're on top of things. Now, I did want to talk about a couple of things as we move forward here before we get started on the weekly overview. I want to wrap up things from this past week. First, do make sure that you're reviewing your feedback from your submissions on a regular basis. So you should all have reviewed your feedback from this past weekend, and I do a little bit of video grading from time to time, you're going to see, and so I did some video grading on the submission this past week. So take a look. It's going to help you to make some improvements on your submissions, on your written papers, which you're going to do a number of them throughout your program. So take time to get that feedback in and be working on those skills, as you're going to have discussion posts and things like that throughout your program. And so enhancing your writing skills is always a good thing. Do make sure that you read and watch all videos and keep up on the announcements and things like that as we move forward, because that's going to help to key you in on the expectations on the submissions and so forth. And so you just understand what the rules of the game are. By the way, little general tip on the actual grade that you received from the paper this past week. If you missed just a few points, 3, 4, 5 points on your submission, then it probably means you missed a couple of small little things. And you're going to want to just make sure to go through the feedback. I probably clearly talked about it or pointed it out in the video. And these are some things that you can easily change, and it'll dramatically improve your submissions very quickly. These were just some minor things, but over time they're going to be bigger point errors. So keep that in mind. If you missed just in the way I graded this past week is why it worked out that way. If you missed 10 or 15 or 20 points or more than that, certainly, then please make sure you clearly understand what you did or did not do, because it is likely you just overlooked something or missed a section in your submission. So again, do make sure you're clear on all the expectations. It's always a good idea to read all instructions twice and reach out for help if you need it, preferably before you enter the weekend. So let's take a look at the submissions for this week so you do have a clear understanding of what's expected. So this week we are going to start to talk about sensations and perceptions. And so if you think in terms of the 5 senses, taste, scent, sight, hearing, etc. So if you think in terms of that, those are some of the things that we are going to talk about this week as we explore the content and attention, motivation, sensory adaptation, the different perceptual levels, as well as different levels of learning as we get into the reading materials for the week, and of course the discussion board. The learning activities for this week that you want to make sure that you pay attention to, Chapter 5 and Chapter 6 in the textbook, as well as this video. By the way, the video is just 4 minutes long. It's really good. It will really help you out with the discussion post in terms of differentiating between classical and operant conditioning. I got to be honest, this is one that is very commonly confused. So take a look at the video to help you to distinguish between the two. As we get into the discussion post this week, we are going to talk about the 3 different, or rather 3 traditional styles of learning: classical conditioning, operant conditioning, and observational learning. And kind of have a little diagram I added here down below. But again, make sure to go through the materials, do a little time, your homework, watch that video. You should have no problem at all answering and addressing the discussion post. Again, as I always encourage students, you'll reply while you're on the board that first time. All right, moving right along. This week there is a quiz. If you've done the readings in Chapter 5 within the text, you're going to be just fine. So Chapter 5 in the text is going to pertain to hearing, so this is a great section for you to learn about. Of course, nurses, right? Medical students. So it's always good to learn anatomy, physiology, kinesiology kind of stuff. So we're also going to get into some things or some aspects within learning, again, classical, operational, etc. So again, spend a little bit of time going through the materials this week. You'll thank me later. And then we're going to do a perception worksheet. Now, when you have worksheets like this, do make sure that you use the actual worksheet that's here. To access the worksheet, you just click on it right here. It's going to open up a page right here, and when you get to this page right here, you're going to want to come up here and click on this link to download the worksheet to your computer. You won't be able to type a response in here, so make sure you do that. Again, click on this, it'll download to your computer right here. You'll be able to open it up as a Microsoft Word document, and then you'll certainly be able to type your responses directly into the document. Save it in a file where you save all your documents for the course, and then upload it back to the course, and you should be good to go. So with that, if you do have any questions, make sure to reach out. Again, it's always better to reach out sooner rather than later. I always encourage students to at least look at what you got going on this week, early in the week, to get your questions answered. And then certainly if you have any, reach out to me. I'll be happy to get back with you. This is Dr. J. I look forward to interacting with you in the discussion board this week, and I look forward to seeing your submission.